Welcome to our Jason Reuter Coaches Show, brought to you each week here on BCHS.TV, also available on YouTube and Facebook. Coach Reuter, I'd like to talk about things that happened last week. We had a very busy schedule, a home schedule with 3 different games. We had 2 district games Tuesday and Friday, a non-district game Saturday with Marion County, and obviously going into those games, the Bearettes were heavy favorites, and it played out the way that we all thought it would. And you didn't get to play your starters a whole lot, and you got to play all the subs a tremendous amount of time. And games like that, especially 3 in a row, back to back to back, does that have any effect overall on the team play or on you as a coach? Your perspective on that would be?
Well, I mean, certainly you don't want a lot of games like that. And 3 in a row is very unusual. It's just the way the district schedule. We redraw the schedules every so often, and I can't give you the exact.
It's just the luck of the draw.
It was luck of the draw, and Saudi and Udawa being the 2 bottom teams in our district back to back, and then we actually scheduled Marion County. We were 2 games short, and they were 4 games short. And a lot of people may not know this. We'll have our schedule 90% done before school is out, and we got into the summer and we just couldn't find. We were 2 games short, and Marion County posted. My memory is correct. I think it was all the way up to like October the 1st when they put out kind of a SOS. We're 4 games short.
Yeah.
I think they had a coach resign. They thought their schedule was full. It wasn't. So we made a phone call over there. We talked. Obviously, the games were lopsided, but the coach was still receptive. He wanted to play. I think we're not going to make the game up at Marion County. They got postponed because of the floor damage. They had a hot water heater bust. But anyhow, back to your original question, the 3 games in a row like that, you can't. All you can do is control what you can control. I thought our kids came out and played hard.
They sure did.
We're not going to. At a certain point, you're going to call the dogs off. At halftime of all 3 games, we said like, no more full court pressing. You're right. Your starters can get. Anna Walker averaged probably 13 minutes a game in this 3-game stretch. Jermaine Blair was out 2 games with wisdom teeth procedure, but you're not careful, you can get a little rusty. But at the same time, let's look at the positives. We got to play a lot of young kids. You may get someone who normally would have only played 4 or 5 minutes, now it turns into a 12-minute game. So there's a lot of positives to it. When we played all our girls. In many cases, our bench players played more minutes than our starters. But I think you could build some confidence from that and give some kids an opportunity to play in a varsity game that normally wouldn't. And parents enjoy seeing that. And there's a word called clash. You're not going to be trapping and pressing. There's an unwritten rule. At halftime, you pretty much shut it down, but the kids still played very hard, and we just happen to have a lot of talent on our bench. And our JV team is very strong, as you've noticed, and so it's impossible to ask those kids to go in and not play hard.
Right, exactly.
So I'm not going to apologize for them playing half-court, man-to-man defense, playing hard, and you're not going to ask a kid to miss a shot. So those games are over. We're going to chalk it up. Now, trust me, doing this as long as I have, I've been warning my kids for the last several days, look, now you're going into a different animal with East Hamilton now tonight, and I reminded them that the easy games are over, and we're talking about a team that isn't this ironic, we beat them by 35 and then beat them in overtime because there was some different variables. Yeah, we were lucky, and we don't talk a lot about we don't talk a lot about streaks or anything like that, but we know that there's a lot of people shooting for us, and we know that we'll have our hands full at East Hamilton. Anytime you have a kid like Madison Hayes, she's returning Miss Basketball.
Signed with Mississippi State.
Yeah. So do I need to say anything else? When you have a kid like that, our game plan will be to try to hold her. If we can keep her under 20, I'll be happy tonight. I'll be happy.
Well, it'll be a challenge, like you said. We had them in the finals of the Thanksgiving tournament when we beat them 68-33, I believe the final was, 35-point at Mercy Road margin. And then, 2 weeks later or less, that we come back and it's overtime, and Anna Walker hits a basket there at the buzzer to put even into overtime. We win at 54-50 there. So, yeah, it'll be a challenge on the road down there, and they'd like nothing better to beat us because they've never beaten Bradley St. Clair in all the history between these two schools. 19 games between the girls. They've never beaten the Bearettes. So they're looking for that first time. And Coach Hunter Greenmore, who's a good guy, a really good guy. Everybody likes Hunter. He's shooting for that as well. Going back just brief to the 3 games this week, we talked about all the subs. And those subs may not be as talented or as experienced or as strong or as tall or whatever as your starters are, but they work just as hard in practice, and they deserve the opportunity to play. And I agree with what you say 100%. You're not going to ask him to back off. Play as hard as you can. I want to see what you can do, and that's why your subs tend to, next year and the year after, you depend on those subs, freshmen, sophomores, whoever, to move in some starting roles. And games like last week gives them an opportunity to get out there and play in front of the home crowd and get some confidence in their own abilities and hit some shots and play some defense and all that. So it's a win-win situation like that for you and for them and everybody. It may be an ugly score. The final may be an ugly score, but still, it's just part of the season. You have games like that occasionally.
Yeah, many times, you got kids that are freshmen that are playing in that game that will be standouts before they leave here.
Yeah.
So, there's kids that, Anna Walker was once a freshman that no one knew much about.
Wet behind the ears.
Yes.
Still.
So I'm saying you've got future players that will be standouts here that are simply not in tight games because of their lack of experience and their maturity and their strength. And like you said, they're going to get older, more mature, get stronger and more confident. And so there's some positives to take out of that, and I'm just glad we got out of there. No one got hurt, and we're moving on. We're pretty healthy. And
is Jamarian back tonight to play in the game?
Yeah, she's had one practice,
Good.
Which was yesterday.
Well, neither.
Yeah, was yesterday. So she had for a wisdom teeth operation, she had a pretty good procedure. Not a lot of swelling, not a lot of pain, so we're pretty blessed there.
Well, now we've played 6 games in the district. That's half the district season. 5 of those 6 were here in the friendly confines of Jim Smith Arena. But now, the flip side of that is you've got to go on the road for 5 of the final 6. You only have Walker Valley, the last home district game coming back. And actually, we only have 2 home games left. Walker Valley here and Meigs County here, which will be senior night, I suppose, for us, the last 2 games of the year. 31st and February the 2nd or 3rd or something like that. But that's down the road there. But it's just unusual. Again, it's sort of the luck of the draw that you had all those games at home to start with, and now you got to go play Cleveland over there. You got to play East Hamilton tonight. You got Walker coming in here, and then it'll just finish out the season. It takes a long time to get here, it seems like, but then it seems to go by extremely quickly.
Some people suggest basketball is the longest sport of the year, from the time you start to the time you finish, but. You're right. We're moving. We've turned the corner now. Half the district's over. I've always looked at it like you had first half of the season up to Christmas break, and then you have after Christmas break you have the second leg, and then come tournament time you've got the third leg. We are in
early part of
our second leg. Yeah. Yes. So we're heading towards the halfway point, just basically right now, and. Well, we're 15-3. That's 18 games. If you double that, it's 36. So we're about the halfway mark. I think that, you like to have a balance between home and away games. Yeah. We had 5 of our 6, am I right, district games at home. But that's we all know, look, we're going to Cleveland. It's going to be a challenge. We're going to East Hamilton. It's going to be a challenge. We're going to McMinn County. It's going to be a challenge. Absolutely, we know that. Yeah. So we have 3 more district challenges on the road. And, we'll just see. We'll toss it up and we'll prepare, and all we can do is control how we play, and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Well, let me ask you this. This is one of the seasons, which is a little bit unusual. We don't play any District 6 teams. We don't have a Stone Memorial on the roster, on the schedule this year, and they are in the top 10. I think they come in 7th or so this week. We don't play Cumberland County, which is not even in our classification, where they've dropped down to 2A. Sometimes we'd play Ray County, just across the river, and they're very strong this year, it seems like. So you don't have a good feel for District 6 because you haven't played them. I guess you've probably seen them and scouted them and seen them in other venues. But who over there, for us folks who don't see them, who do you see over there as the main competition coming out of that group of girls teams in District 6?
Well, there's 5
teams.
Region matchup, right, that's makes up our region. There's 5 teams. Warren County is the odd team out. They're the weakest of the 5, and we did scrimmage White County and Stone Memorial in early November. Mm-hmm. So, and we played them last year. We played Stone 3 times last year. Mm-hmm. Now you can say the same. You can say we don't have the benefit of playing them this year, but we could flip it around. They don't have the benefit of playing us either.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's just the way it worked out. We didn't have any opportunities to play anybody over there, and I can tell you that Stone Memorial is on paper the best team, but they also went to Ray County and won by 2 points. White County went to Cookeville and got beat. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say Stone is definitely, you could ask anyone around the state that's in the know, Stone would be the best team. And then the other 3, it's a dogfight. It depends on who's gym and who's hot that night. And any of those 4 could beat each other. But Stone still won. We're talking about, you say, what's a 2-point win? Well, it was at Ray County. Ray County has 2 Division I signees, one girl going to Sanford and one girl going to Eastern Illinois. Mm-hmm. So they're dangerous. And Cookeville has split with Cleveland this year. White County is capable of beating anyone in this region. So it's really a toss-up over there. But Stone's slight favorite.
And when you get there, what some folks should know by now, I would think, is that the region we host at White County this year. So, and they're tougher to play there in Sparta on their home floor. So it'll be a battle in a lot of ways, and that's what you expect though in the region. It's a huge step up from the district competition to the region competition, and we look forward to it. But we got a lot of games to play before then. So, now we talked about East Hamlin. Just very quickly, want to touch on a game, another non-district game we got Thursday night with Meigs County, and that's on the road, and that's a home and home. They'll be back here last game of the year, I guess, for us. And they'll be our last home game at least. But we'll be going over this Thursday night. We have not played them. I know we played them back in the mid-'90s at Bradley Central. At Cleveland State, when we had a Christmas tournament over there, Meigs County. They were loaded, with the girls that went to Tennessee and to Georgia. That's Rachel Powell and the green girl that went to Tennessee. And now, but what I'm getting at is that's where you started coaching. I want to pull that into our program here and talk about that. How did you get? Who did you coach there, and when was that? Before I know you came to Bradley to that.
I coached with the boys coach Sammy Ferguson for 4 years, and he's still the boys coach. And so me and Sammy are good friends. And I can tell you the last time we played them, it was my first year at Bradley. We played a home and away, and
I forgot about that.
Had a couple tight games with them. The year you're talking about over at Cleveland State, it snowed that night, if you remember.
Yeah.
3 or 4 inches, and I was a Meg's assistant. We lost in double overtime.
Mm-hmm. I remember
But Meg's girls beat Bradley. I think they split that year.
Yep, they sure did.
Yeah, this will be my first trip back over there other than a couple times as scout. So, these kids don't really know me, but as far as the girls coach, Jason Powell, he's from Meigs County. He played at Tennessee Westland when I played at Lee. So there'll be a lot of, be my first time in there coaching. Well, as a head coach, it'll be my first time back there. I've been but one other time with Kent Smith, the assistant coach, but it'll be interesting. They're a very good team. It's a tough place to play. Meigs County, it's a tight gym. They've got a very good team. And we got a short turnaround. We play East Ham on Tuesday, which that game obviously is much more important because it's a district game, but then you got 1 day to prepare. I got to come home tonight, watch film, and have practice tomorrow, and then go play on Thursday.
Well,
but that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yep, it sure is. It should be fun. We look forward to it. That'll be a radio broadcast game for us too, but it'll be fun. And we don't have a Friday game, which is unusual for this time of year. We don't have a Friday game, but we got Tuesday, Thursday, and then next week we'll have other games coming up. But Coach, we always thank you for being with us here on the Jason Reuter Show each week. Sometimes we have players, sometimes we don't. If they're available without disrupting their classroom schedule, we get them in here and talk to them. And we thank you again, and good luck tonight at East Ham. Good luck Thursday at Meigs County.
Thank you.
For Coach Jason Reuter, I've been your host, Gary Ownbey. We'd like to say so long for now. God bless, and go Bears.